separates him from a lot of the pins. I forgot who just said that.
Tito said that. That was me, but I agree, Chief.
The wittiness is some of the things he had to play on. It's a little clever, but on the wit side type of thing. Now, Clutch, to me, I think this is a show and prove. This is a show and prove. This is one of those things like, you know what? There's an advanced version of you, and we're going to whip you into shape. We're just getting you ready for everything else. So we're going to put you up against Chilla Jones. Now, the thing is that a lot of the URL plans, sometimes they don't work. If Clutch passes Chilla Jones, if it's close, because this is the thing, Chilla Jones has been sitting down forever. Sometimes the effect of it should not have been that close puts the person on the edge. It's like, you know what? I got to give it to Clutch because it shouldn't have been that close in the first place. That's kind of like what they did with JC. That's kind of like what they did with Rum Nitty and Soufflé Soul. A lot of people got Soufflé Soul winning that 2-1 type of thing because it was that close. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know where y'all be at, but my ears really be out here. I really be in these venues. And a lot
what did you, oh, never mind.
I'm Maryland. Yeah. I'm going to go with Maryland every single time. But with that being said, this is tough. But
we appreciate your honesty.
Where's Clutch from?
Preparation, Clutch is from, I think, Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
I believe so. The land of nowhere. That's very dangerous. There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on out there.
Might be the chosen one.
That's a lie. Little Rock really got some stuff. Like, y'all don't see.
Oh, yeah.
Get her out there.
Hand me my pillow.
Don't them niggas still use VCRs in Little Rock?
Oh, she.
They use DVD players still. Go ahead.
I'm a edge because I'm new school. So I'm an edge Clutch 2-1. I believe he has to get the first round. He has to get the first round. If he does not get the first round, he might get lined up for a 30. Right. He has to get the first. Like, if he gets the first, it's more so one of those, okay, Clutch, that's what I'm talking about. Like, young fella, like type of thing. And then now we're prone to hear his next round. But if he gets buried first round, it's like, this is exactly what we thought it was going to be. So he has to get over that hump. So I'm going to give him the edge. I would not bet money on this battle. Out of respect for Chilla. I would not bet money because it's that close. That's my prediction.
So what's up?
I just want to say Rum Nitty is winning all 3 rounds on the app versus Soufflé Soul.
I beat Shotgun Suge on the app. Is that accurate? No.
I'm just saying it's not even close though.
It was cold that night, Willie.
I had you beating Suge. Don't worry.
Soufflé Soul second was definitely. I followed the app loosely.
I'm just saying it's not even close on the app. He doubled them in round 3, tripled them in round 1, and has a very comfortable lead on round 2.
Rum Nitty has a fan base that's out of this world. Soufflé Soul has.
And it's this low key where I don't want to release a
comparison. Soufflé Soul has 1,000 followers on Twitter. All right. Go ahead. Lane, you got your hand up, Lane? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say I agree with the sentiment of like, Clutch may have already been prepared, but like with Chill already having his eye, and this is like with a lot of vets, right? They line a lot of people up. Like Chill's not taking this battle with not having something planned already. Like you said that he was hip to, and then Chill's a Crucible scout. So this man probably has seen a lot of Clutch battles that we haven't even seen. He has seen all his auditions and stuff like that. He already seen the one round that he had against Hands, which he was good in that too. So there's that aspect of it. It is also he was hip to Clutch even before the Crucible. So you're talking about a guy that's might been eyeing like someone's potential since like years prior, right? Now that doesn't mean that he already had material set in mind, but sometimes all you need is like a topic, especially with Chilla. Like this is the same guy that can take one topic and scheme about it in like one entire round. It's the same guy that, like Jason Mo mentioned, is pretty underrated angler and stuff like that. So I do agree that like while Clutch may have the one up in terms of maybe having some pre-made material there, I do think that like it's a situation where Chilla's already kind of hip to Clutch like years back and kind of already see the chinks in the armor too. So like I said, it will be an interesting battle. I do think that Chilla has a better pin than Clutch by far, but I think the difference is the reason why I think it's going to be so close is because I feel like Clutch is going to be super, super hungry in this battle, and he may even be better or he's going to try to one up his JC performance. So I have Chilla winning, like I said, but I don't think it's going to be super duper clear. And again, I might not even have a clear winner off of first watch. I don't think that's fair to the writers. I think this is going to deserve a couple watches before I can definitively say someone won in a clear fashion. So,
Danny and fucking So Flair. How you calling that, Lang?
Black to give his thing on Klutz and Chilla third.
Oh, my fault, Black.
But I did briefly. First of all, shout out to Sheed. I think Sheed is being very nice to the rookies or the rising talents. So it's my job to realign things. Shout out to the Lux. You got to do realignments. And the realignments, they still puppies.
Yeah.
Let's fresh out the way. Yeah. So we got to do realignments. They still puppies. They don't have a bark yet. They don't have a bark yet. I mean, that was a good, you know what I'm saying? Every once in a while you get a nice little win. Shout out to JC. I think Chilla Jones is more precision based. He's more accurate in terms of his attack, his plan, his strategy. It's a good thing you turned it down twice. Now you're here. Why he accept this one? Pendulum Inc. 2-1.
Three rounds. That's why.
Pendulum Inc. 2-1. Clear. Clutch doesn't have it all figured out yet. Again, we're praising him for the JC performance. He did well. But I've seen chinks, respect to him, I've seen chinks in armor. I've seen certain dry spots here and there. You know what I mean? I can't quote him right now. I got my laptop in front of me right now. Calm down, relax. I got you bark bar. Relax. Chilla Jones, accuracy, precision, and being probably the second or third best writer in battle rap will overcome.
Oh my
Clutch.
God. Nah, Black, you funny as hell.
How am I funny? Second and third, that's okay.
You're top five. You're top
He's
five,
top
right?
five.
LeBron should never get mad. LeBron should never be mad called the second
Definitely
and
top
third best player
five.
ever. Shout out to LeBron. It's okay.
Top
There's still
five.
Jordan.
But it's
Chilla
you
top
designated
five.
him to that spot, though. That's funny. That's what I'm saying.
That's where his career got him, and that's okay. It's okay.
Chilla
Shout
top
out
five
to Chilla.
writer. Top five writer.
Clutch,
Top five, right.
Clutch, shout out to Clutch. You have to earn your keep. You have to earn your way. You have not done that yet. Very impressive versus JC. JC and Chilla Jones are two different people. That's not even to say that Chilla Jones is better than JC or JC is better than Chilla Jones. It's not like that. It's a certain level that Chilla Jones reaches against guys like him. You know what I'm saying? I would hate to see. I would love to see how Clutch can handle. Don't y'all? I would love to see how Clutch can handle Chilla Jones versus Jerry West type third round. If he's locked in like that, this is clear as day.
And then the thing
Clear
about
as
the thing about
And you can't let your students down, Chilla. You can't let your students down. Now you got students. It's different. Pendulum
Preacher.
2-1. Pendulum Inc. 2-1. Clear.
Preacher. Now, what I will say about Chilla is that Chilla is an overall pin. Chilla has so many different things that he can tap into as a pin opposed to JC. That's the reason why I agree with Black with saying Chilla is way more precise with his plan of attack. So that's the reason why I feel like this battle would be clear.
Hey, yo, Black, are you writing these predictions down that we give?
No, not yet.
Oh,
I'm going to
So
put something up.
was
We will be writing. Gotcha.
oh, okay.
was Clutch
Smoke got his hand up.
air quote boxed into the writers
Say that again, the boss.
category
Say
because
that again.
Jay Smoke
that's
got
just
his
what they
hand up.
wanted?
The boss, say that again.
Jay Smoke got his hand up.
Was Klutz back then boxed into the whole writers thing? Just because I'm not I think Klutz is really, really good, but coining him like a pin, I'm missing. I don't know.
What you saying? Is that what he's labeled?
You know what I'm saying? Because I get that. I get that Safleur is the puncher. I get that Foots is the performer. Are they just trying to put all the big six in some sort of box?
Well, I think Klutz is naturally that because I even went back to watch his stuff prior to URL, when he's battling Tycoon Christ, who's also was a guy that was kind of pin heavy or whatever. He's most definitely is more pin intensive. So I don't think it was by design. I think that's just naturally him. He's very into just the writing aspect of battle rap. Now, granted, it just fell that way because you have your prototypes with Foots being the performer, Safleur being the puncher, and then him being more of the writing intensive person. But I think that was just naturally. I don't think that was by design at all.
He's labeled himself the pin. He's labeled.
And
himself.
That's what he calls himself, I believe. On
he's self-proclaimed. Okay.
But if y'all are cool, I was going to kick it off with Danny Flair.
Go ahead, baby.
Please and
Yeah,
thanks.
because
Y'all already did Mike P and Jack Boy.
We
Yeah,
certainly
what you had, Britt?
Oh, okay.
So,
I got
yeah.
that.
Okay.
I got Mike.
Ain't nobody really asked you that, Brittany.
with Danny and Flair, I like it. I like it a lot. I thought it was kind of like one of the next logical steps. Danny battled everyone. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, Flair was there. They've kind of went down this
Yeah, I'm
road. I feel
battling
like
Danny
giving him a
Sunday.
lot
Go
of.
ahead, though.
I feel like he's a lot of punchers early on. I don't know if Chess is really counted as a straight up puncher, but they're giving a lot of guys that can produce explosive haymakers. Really seeing how he goes against firepower. And up to this point, I think he's kind of passed the test. I mean, Chess he beat. And Chess is someone that's usually really good, especially when he's like playing down to comp, like if it mid tiers, all that. That's where Chess really gathers the wins that he gets. And then against Nitty, I think it's debatable. I got Nitty. I mean, Flair did wrap 8-minute rounds of points and stuff like that. Kind of a lot much more material makes it more debatable. I personally edge Nitty. That's a great battle. I feel like that was one of the better battles this year. That and versus Danny, I got some Flair soul winning 2-1 edge. I think obviously, I mean, Danny's a test for anybody, and it's kind of crazy. I did a video on my channel talking about if Danny Myers is a Hall of Famer, breaking down his career. What you see is a guy that I think is amazing versus top tier. I mean, there's no question. You know what I'm saying? Incredible, but he takes a lot of like these random losses. You know what I'm saying? Franchise, Steam, Stewie Newton. Real sick. The ones where he's extremely favored, he's not. He wins a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? But he's almost more susceptible to losing when he's supposed to win than in great top tier matchups. And I think he's gonna be good, but he's doing a lot of multis lately. A lot less of like the traditional punching. I know he's trying to like emphasize that pen, but when Danny goes on these like monotony and bad baloney, that's not really good, man. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like there's these like minutes or 90 seconds that's like Danny. There's no need for that when we all know that Danny Myers is one of the best punchers, most creative, writers in the game. So I think Flair's got a little bit more on the real talk side, kind of like a hybrid. He doesn't just punch; he has that real talk. The stepped on crack, break your mama's back line in the third versus Nitty was insane. And I think a little bit of that is he's gonna have higher peaks, and I think he's gonna beat Danny Myers, man. I got Flair Soul 2-1.
I got Danny Myers 2-1. Honestly, I'm good on this battle. I didn't really need it right now, to be honest with you. I think there's better battles out there for Flair. And like I'd be good if I just didn't see Danny Myers for like the next 3 events, to be honest with you. Like I'd be really
Say the next 3 years.
That's not what I said. I said 3
What'd
events.
you say? 3 events.
I said 3 events. But I'd be very happy if Danny just sat down for about 90 days and just, like gathered himself and let his thoughts come back to him. And you know what I'm saying? And just give battle rap a fucking 24-hour period where we didn't have to see Danny Myers fucking battle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like give us a chance to miss you, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, for real. Like, this shit is it's overdoing it, my nigga. Like, it's overdoing it. You don't need to be like, we know you fire. We know that you know what I'm saying? You love battle rap. Give me a second to to miss you, my nigga. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, there's niggas like Fonz out there. This nigga could have battled right here. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other plates. There's other plates for the nigga, you know what I'm saying, to take. You don't, you know what I mean? Like, Danny Myers can fucking wait. We'll get around to it. We know you ain't going nowhere, Danny. Fuck. 2-1, but 2-1 Danny.
Okay, so you said all that to say you have Danny winning the battle.
He said Danny first, and then he said all that, and then he ended it with the same thing that he started with.
Okay. Yeah. So you're done? Are you at your point?
I'm done.
Okay. Now I do feel like I understand your your thoughts on seeing someone over and over again. However, thank you. However, these individuals. This is how they get paid. This is how they take care of their family. So I'm just against that. I'm against telling someone how often they should be seen because this is what they rely on for their livelihood. However, with that being said, I do have
UPS is hiring. Sorry.
I do have Danny winning this battle. However, I think this battle might be a preference thing, to be honest, because Soul is just one of them boys. I haven't seen him really do anything bad yet on the stage. I feel like he levels up every performance. So I am interested to see what he does with Danny. However, I do feel like Danny, wanted this battle. I know he was mentioned on his hit list along other individuals like T-Top and Ilmac and Iron Solomon. And I'm not sure if any of those individuals will even battle him this year. But I do like the fact that he actually wanted this battle. I think Danny has a lot to say, and he needs to say with everything going on. So I just feel like, this is going to be a great battle, but I do have Danny winning the battle. But I do the Flair's I think Flair is going to do great. I think he's going to have a very great round. That's probably going to be the most talked about. So it's not going to be a lose situation for him.
So my thing is this, Brett, right? Like I get where you going with, that's how nigga pays bills, take care of shit. I don't give a fuck about that, man. Like I'm like honestly, that shit don't matter to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a consumer. That's like my part of this culture is to consume the motherfucking pause, because that sounds crazy. But I'm supposed to watch battles, and I don't want to watch battles that I don't want to see, like that don't interest me, and I don't want to see bad battles. And at this point in time, Danny's giving us. He's giving us
bad battles.
He's giving us. No. He's giving us the fucking. He's giving us the fucking the stepped on shit. Nigga. He's not giving me that raw. He's giving me the stepped on.
The Philly battle that he just dropped, it wasn't too stepped on. It was pretty cool.
Listen, man. Danny giving me that stepped on shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that shit when you go to the heights. You tell Poppy you need an ounce. He tell you, hold on, tato, and he come back down with a fucking silver tray of nothing, nigga. Like, nah, I don't want that shit, man. Like, sit down, recook up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And give me that straight drop, nigga. Don't give me the bullshit, man. That's all I'm saying.
So about 98% of the time, I normally go with the vets, but I actually got Safleur 2-1 clear. I think a round will be debatable, or Danny will win a round because it's Danny. You know what I'm saying? But I actually have Safleur 2-1 clear. I think that I actually really like this battle too. This is also my battle of the night. I have this. I ain't hear you, Britt, babe.
No, I'm saying I agree. I actually think this battle is gonna be one of those ones.
Yeah, I actually really like this battle a lot. So I have it as my battle of the night. But I think Safleur gonna take it clear. I think that his believability, his ability to still match Danny's energy, his ability to perform his heavy punches, and his consistency. Like he at least in the battles I've seen of his, he doesn't have any significant dips or exacerbated dry spots or anything like that. I can't say the same thing for Danny. Danny rebuttals, and one may be good, and then there's an air ball, and then one may be mid, and then there's an air ball. So and then it's not even just in his rebuttals or his freestyles, even in his rounds, he has dry spots. So I just think that Safleur's consistency will be better than Danny's, and I also think that Safleur's peaks will be higher than Danny's peaks. So I have Safleur 2-1. I think it's only my second time picking a newbie, and I was right the last time. I had Sheed over Bill.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I said I think this battle gonna be.
Hold on, are we saying that because Sheed is here? What's going on here?
That was debatable.
I definitely had Sheed over Bill. You can go back and listen. I had Sheed 2-1 over Bill.
That is debatable.
Don't do her, Black.
I don't understand. I never understood the people's elbows line. I don't like. Is that good to y'all? Like wrestling?
Nah, me and Sheed got permanent beef between each other, man.
I don't know which way to go. What's that mean? I don't.
Wait, what?
Lane, you had
Going over his bars.
Can I go first? Is that can I go first?
Then she can go after before me.
In regards to Danny Myers,
Yo, Jay Black, why you sound like you're in the hallway or something?
He's on the toilet.
Definitely in the
That's
bathroom.
what it is, in the bathroom? Okay. My
Yeah,
bad.
definitely in the bathroom.
do I sound better now? Did anything change? Are we good now?
Yeah, you
No,
closer
that's
now.
better.
Now you
That's
closer
better.
now. Yeah, you closer now.
I'm about to record a diss track.
And wash your hands.
Hey, Black.
I'm in the studio. I'm about to record a diss track. Anywho, in regards to Danny Myers and Safleur, so I think Safleur is so messed up by being great, by being good. And John alluded to this on Champion. Go ahead, check it out. We aired it live about a month ago, and then he just dropped it recently. But they know where he's at. They know his power level. The reason John prepared and battled Safleur so like he did, because he's seen the battle in person. This what you about? I think it's the same thing for Danny Myers. if Flair Soul just popped up and battled Danny Myers with the amount of activity that Danny Myers has, I'll probably give it to Flair Soul. You know, Danny's over here, Danny's over there. But it's no way Danny Myers ain't seeing what's going on with Flair Soul. You don't play with that, man. And when you don't play with him, you come to him with a different level of material. So yet again, I found a way to say a rising town's going to lose. The Vets, Danny Myers 2-1 clear. You can go ahead, She. Pardon me.
All right, great analysis.
That was a great breakdown. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't biased. I'm just
That was phenomenal.
I literally just said great. I literally
It was
just
mediocre at best, man. It was mediocre at best.
Boy.
Okay, so with this battle right here, of course I'm a little Maryland biased, but I will give some insight. This is besides the 3-on-3, as far as preparation, this is Flair's shortest prep. Period. He just had the 2-on-2 with Foots against DNA and the PG Killers. Before that, Rum Nitty had 2 months. Before that, with Chess, he had a month and a half, type of thing.
What about Foots? How long was Foots? I know he had little stumbles in that one.
Foots, he had some time as well. They both had some time, but they previously battled as well. So that was actually a rematch type of thing. Mm-hmm. And one thing that a lot of MCs, well, a lot of people don't know, when you unlock that certain frequency when you're going against somebody, it's kind of easy to tap back into that. Also, a lot of MCs don't erase notes. All the raps that they didn't get to use or didn't have time for, they get a chance to revamp it, type of thing. So that's a different dynamic when it comes to rematches. I think, like Jay Black said, the producers, the staff, they know what they have with the Flair Soul type of thing. They often use Danny to catapult that person into the next realm. If you guys haven't, peeped that, they did that with Easy. Like that was the next thing. It's like, you know what? Let's see let's put you against Danny.
And that was a Born Legacy card too.
Danny's going to give 110%. So they need somebody who does not have an excuse going into the battle. Like, hey man, it just wasn't me, man. Oh, I got stung by a bumblebee. I don't know. Whatever this and that. They need to have somebody who's going to give 110% so they can give somebody the ultimate test. Sometimes I feel like they use Danny Myers to do that because he's a professional. He displays that. Danny Myers also wanted to battle Flair Soul for a minute, ever since he kind of saw him. These guys have sparred a couple of times as well, as far as like in the past. He's taken a liking to Flair. So when Danny does that, he actually wants to teach you a lesson. Like, you know what? Sensei, Miyagi type of thing like that. Let me teach Daniel son a thing or two type of thing. These are two high energy performers. I think this will be the battle of the night. Like the ball said, I think there's going to be a round that's going to be absolutely phenomenal from Flair Soul. I often think it's his second. He likes to get punched in the face first, and then he gives all that he has in the second. He actually, to me, in my eyes, for the first time, he beat Rum Nitty is known for his seconds. He beat Rum Nitty's second type of thing. And that's just a hell of a statement to me. So on the Maryland side, the Maryland bias side, I'm going with the Flair Soul. But if I had to just, from a fan's point of view, I wouldn't bet money on this. I would say edge to Danny because Danny's going to try to teach him a thing or two, and he knows where he's at. Danny is under the microscope right now. He's been under a lot of scrutiny, and I think he's very angry. Between the hustle shit that just happened with him and the trenches card, he's very angry. So I think he wants to take it out on a freshman, but I will go with the Flair Soul 2-1.
That was good, she.
So he's pissed off, but he's gonna lose. Okay.
He recycled a lot of my balls, but it was good.
Out of both our balls, but he still did a good job.
Go drown.
That was great, she.
And Lane got his hand up.
Yeah, so I was actually on the fence for a while. I do agree with the sentiment that Jason said earlier in terms of like the random losses, right? Steams, which ironically enough was Born Legacy 4, Stewie Newton, franchise, stuff like that. But I do think that we're getting probably a more motivated Danny that we've gotten in a while in this battle. Watching 3 Letterman interview, he talks a lot about just how much he wanted this battle, how much he wants to show the difference. And on top of that, like he touched on something that was very important. Him and Chilla actually touched on something very important, like just the difference in like eras in terms of like how the top six, quote unquote, are perceived, and like how they had to go about like rising up the ranks as opposed to like the way they're going about rising up the ranks. So there's a talking point, maybe a little bit of a dialogue there that Danny can harp on. I think that's a Flair rises to the level of his competition. I think that we're gonna get a really really great Souffleur, but we might be getting a Danny, in my opinion, that's like replicating what Danny had against Torque in terms of like just wanting to show the difference between somebody that he respects. So for me, I'm gonna edge Danny 2-1. I think it's gonna be an extremely debatable battle, but a good battle. I don't think Souffleur is gonna lose clearly at all. But I do think like this is probably going to be one of the more motivated Dannys we've seen in a while, and I think he actually has a talking point. Because like if you just watch that interview that he has with Three Letterman, you can just see that like there are certain things that are irking him, and you can kind of see that like the respect level that he has for Souffleur. And anybody that knows like how much like when Danny has respect for somebody, it's either like a really good performance in the battle is great, or he just ends up showing levels. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is a situation where I am edging Danny in this battle. Now I do think that like Danny most definitely has an issue with the Maltese, right? I do want him to get back into like the rapid punching style, something that he specializes in. And I do feel like the same way that we can talk about, Danny's dry spots. I do think, contrary to what the boss said, not to be that guy, but I do think that like there are instances where I have seen Souffleur airball because like he tries to build up into a crazy punch, and like that conviction and that delivery is all into every punch. Like he tried to make every punch a haymaker, so he ends up like losing his place every once in a while because he tries to make every punch a haymaker. So pacing, knowing how to deliver each bar is still a thing that he has to figure out or whatever. And if we get a Danny that's like just back to back with his haymakers, I just think there's going to be a tough night for Souffleur. But I have Danny 2-1 in this battle, in the close battle.
Where's this bit taking North Carolina?
Yeah.
North Carolina. Yeah, that's where it's at. Why?
Yes. So that why is the answer I'll give you is that it's kind of too close to the DMV for me. I think that there'd be a lot of DMV gas. Oh, it's BL. Yeah, you heard me, Sheet. I ain't let her. And I'm gonna go with him.
Him. Who is him? Him downstairs?
The other one upstairs. What's his name? The one that's battling Danny.
Souffleur Soul.
Souffleur Soul. I'm gonna go with Soul 2-1.
But I will say Danny is kind of universal. Like he gets love everywhere he goes. So I don't
That's
think
true.
that's
I seen that Saturday in Philly. You're right about that part. But I just think that this is different. This is, I don't know, that OSBL love is different. And it's too close to home for him. So I got him winning on the strength of just being home, comfortable.
Too close to home.
Too close to home is outrageous.
Wow.
Too close to the DMV. Yeah,
6 hours.
Okay.
6 hours.
6 hours. Okay, that's close. I'm sorry, but that was my pick. Go ahead, gentlemen.
So you picked it based off of gas, hardcore?
And comfortability. He's too close to home. Yeah. So yeah, put those two together. Gas and comfortability.
Was that the last battle of the Born Legacy 13 card?
I believe so.
Like I said, I actually really like this card. It's good to go back to like a smaller scale card where we get to see rising up and coming talents, mid tiers, just clash against one another and put on good battles. Like these are the battles I actually prefer because this actually makes for great competition. And truth be told, the cards that don't have that much expectations going into it typically usually deliver. You know what I'm saying? Like this reminds me of the outside of like the regular Born Legacy battles. This reminds me of like when we used to get those app only events. The first app only event with Nitty and Saga, with Mike P and Snake Eyes and stuff like that. Like we're gonna get like gems. We may not get a classic battle, but we're gonna get like a multitude of gems on this card. I feel like so. I'm very excited for the card.
Was that disrespect? When you said Jim's name, was that disrespect?
What?
Was that disrespect when you were saying Jim's name just now?
No, I
Okay.
but we got Hansel in the building. I mean, he's on the card. I mean, you want to speak? You want
Who
to
you battling on the court?
Yeah, I ain't nobody. I'm just gonna be there.
Man, a lot of people.
Oh, he's in the 3-on-3. He's in the 3-on-3.
No, he got
my
two
bad.
battles. First, he got a battle Saga, right? That's going down still, right? So he's on the triple threat, triple
Like, don't have
impact.
these
Not
people.
funny, Black.
Don't-
You're
don't-
not
don't
funny.
mislead
You're
these
not
people,
funny.
man.
You're not funny.
Don't mislead these people, man. I already got enough slack when they said that. When I had to tell people that battle wasn't going down.
Yeah, we were
I was
pissed
looking
off.
forward to that battle too.
Me
I'm
too.
not gonna
People
lie.
were very upset. I didn't even think they were going to be that upset.
Listen, battle rap is always upset, especially with URL. It's just how we go every day. They did that. They did that.
What? Black, we keeping track, we doing leaderboard for this one?
I got you. I'm gonna have to double back for that. For the type out, I will be asking you guys individually, or we can double back on the next phase. You know, before the match, before the matchup happened, I got y'all.
It's next Saturday, right?
Yes, it's July 8th.
Yeah,
They picked the worst date for me.
sorry.
But he's in a triple threat matchup or a triple impact matchup. Like anybody got questions or how it's gonna go?
I was
You
gonna
got
ask him a question. If you
let's talk to him for a second.
Yeah, what's up?
Hansel, how do you feel about this? 3-on-3 and the fake outrage that you guys are getting from the culture right now?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Battle rap is always looking for a villain or looking for something to dislike. So when I was at first, I was like, damn, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying they don't like it. But then after a while, it started to look like people were just saying they don't like it because the general consensus is saying they don't like it. But I feel like this is gonna be, it's a thing to say. Once things become a thing to say, then it's out of your hands. But beyond that, I feel like in battle rap, we've seen a lot of situations where we've seen things and they've gotten major criticism going in. And then when it happens, niggas are fully glued to their TVs and talking about it afterwards and shit. And I feel like this is just another one of those things. I feel like we're getting the slack. We're getting the, oh, this is going to be this and that. And they're going to compare us to all the situations in the world. And then when the shit is time, they're going to be front and center on every fucking word. And they're going to enjoy the fuck out of this shit. And it's going to be something different. So I'm really like, I haven't really paid too much attention to the detractors or people that's trying to like downplay the situation as a whole. I feel like you got 6 cold ass niggas in one battle. I think niggas should just sit back and be entertained. You know what I'm saying? Like watch the fucking show instead of like saying it's gonna be something that you don't even know it's gonna be. So I really just been focused on what I gotta do. Me and my niggas been focused on what we gotta do. But I've seen the detractors. I've seen a lot of the talk. But I mean, shit. Right now, other than another situation, we probably the most talked about situation in battle rap right now. So I ain't mad at it.
Okay.
I got a question, Hansel.
What's good?
Okay. How many rounds were you completed before the switch happened?
I like no bullshit, probably 90% done.
Damn.
Ain't that a bitch?
But one thing I will say is, depending on how I'm feeling after this battle, because of the reception I got from battle rap when this shit dropped, I might do this shit just for the fuck, not for the fuck of it, because I crafted some deadly shit for this man, but just because of how dope I think the battle would be and how much people want to see it, I might like do it for that reason. Because the reason it was cut off was for another reason outside of other shit. Yeah.
I know as a battle rapper too, when shit like that happens, and then you get a reception like you got like with this one, all it does is anger you. And it makes the pen a little bit more dangerous, because now it's like, okay, y'all playing with me. And the thing is that a lot of people have to understand, it's not just about your opponent. If you feel like the staff playing with you, it's a different anger behind the pen.
She, man. keep talking, man. That's what I'm gonna say. Keep talking.
Right shit. So it's like with that being said right there, and that's not even no shot, that's just real truth, like type of thing. And just be like, yo, how this switch just happened like this? It lights a different fire up under you. And sometimes when you're done, you like, you know what? I kind of appreciate that, because now I unlocked a new level. Maybe I do need to get angry before certain times.
Hold on, y'all. This
say,
man, hold on. She didn't happen to just try and get personal with me. He's throwing shots at me right now. But I took him off at Summer Madness. Hey, that's your fault, man.
Hey, that was not my fault.
Hold on.
You know my button.
Let him
You know my button.
You gotta work hard. You gotta work hard. 30, 50. I need more of that. I need a lot more. I need more, bro.
All right, man.
Do more, and I'll put you back on that set, bro. But don't do this subliminal shit.
Hey, wipe your screen.
Don't do this subliminal shit, bro.
You're
Stop this
spitting on the
subliminal
phone.
shit,
Wipe
bro.
your fucking screen.
You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous. My fault. Go ahead, Hansel.
Can we get Debo in here?
No, man. But I ain't gonna lie. Before this situation even happened, I'm not gonna lie, bro. The LTBR shit, shout out to them, but that was something I needed. Like in the moment, I was like, I had my feelings, but I ain't gonna lie, it really took a little bit of time, and I said, bro, I needed that. I need because I ain't gonna lie, I was getting too much love, and sometimes too much love can hinder you. Sometimes you need a motherfucker to like say some shit you disagree with, or sometimes you just need a person to say something to make you be like, all right, let me show you what's up. And I think like that was my motivation for the saga battle, but then the whole situation just became motivation for everything at this point.
Motivation.
Cancer, when was your last battle, if you don't mind me asking? I just want to
Homie of
make
God
sure.
on outside too.
And that was a great performance. I had a question pertaining to just your trajectory, right? Because I feel like, I'll start from here. The first time I saw you in a battle was on the Monopoly card with A Ward and Geechee being the headliner, and from then I kind of saw the potential you had from there. And then I I wanted to ask you, right, from that battle up into now, without giving away like obviously your strategies and whatever, like what has being a part of the top six done for you in terms of like how you prepare or how motivated you are and how you attack each battle? Like you guys are the talk of the town because we don't really get that many like great classes that are in solidarity with one another. Like we got great classes before, but it's kind of disjointed. I wanted to ask you in particular, because I felt like you kind of had a buzz prior to doing the Crucible or whatever. But I wanted to ask you in particular, like how the being a part of the top six kind of influenced like the way that you carry yourself in battles and how you prepare.
I'm gonna just say this. I feel like in any sport, greatness recognizes greatness. I feel like I'm fire as fuck, but I feel like there's nobody in my top six that I don't feel like is one of them niggas. And like being in a group and being associated or kind of grouped with other people, and you could look around and like, yo, you see killers. That shit is only gonna make you want to be more of a killer because you feel like you not only represent yourself and want to make yourself a killer as well, but when they put you, you're part of a collective now, and it's more than just what you're representing. It's what the collective is. So being in a collective with these other 5 men who are amazing ass battle rappers, not only does it make a nigga want to be better, but like you said, of course, it's gonna make a nigga be more polished. And I could tell you right now, from the Holmesy to the Saga battle, I've never I could keep it real. Up until that point, I was a first draft nigga. Any round you heard of me up until that point was literally the first draft, and I just wrote. I started literally going back and like changing shit, rearranging shit. I had never done that to a certain degree until I started like working with niggas like Klutz. And it's crazy because y'all where I hopped in the conversation, I was talking about Klutz, and it's like I feel like people know he's a pen just because he's established it, but it's crazy because if I tell y'all right now Klutz is a top 5 pen in battle rap right now, it's gonna sound crazy. Just because I feel like he hasn't had enough time to prove. No, listen, because I feel like he doesn't have enough time to prove that. But I say this as well. I feel like there were certain niggas who got drafted in the NBA that were better than half the NBA on their first day. Because, and not even based on experience, but simply just because of skill set. But beyond that, to answer your question, I feel like Sir Flair is one of the coldest niggas battle rappers ever seen. I feel like Foots is one of the most creative niggas battle rappers ever seen. I feel like Ease brings something different that damn near nobody else in battle rap can bring. Authentic is damn near the resurgence of New York battle rap on the URL stage. Like, it wouldn't make sense to be around niggas I feel like that's great without trying to be greater. So these niggas have definitely like made a nigga want to improve more and just be on top of my game, because I look over and you know what I'm saying, I'm on the same car where Sir Flair is battling Rum Nitty and Klutz is battling JC, you know what I'm saying? They're putting up numbers. So it's like being good ain't good enough. I gotta be great because I gotta stay next to these niggas, you feel me? And they all doing this shit, you feel me? So it's like I can't slag at all, you feel me? So yeah, they definitely did a lot of influencing for sure.
Yeah, LTBR's in the chat. He about to quote you, so get ready for your time.
Yeah,
Oh shit, damn. Let me go ahead and stenograph. No,
well, hold on. We got T-Top
Hey, T-Top.
and Hands.
What's going on, T-Top?
What did John do to piss both y'all off? Like, I'm confused. What's going on?
I can speak for myself, man. I'm not with the theatrics in battle rap. Like if you're not going to, if you're not actively trying to pursue a matchup with me or something like that, then just don't mention me. That's my whole gripe with it.
Can I ask a question though? Like, cause
Go ahead.
I don't think Flair is the only one to ask this. Cause I kind of want to have this dialogue. Even though I kind of have like all of us have our own criteria, but there's literally a definition for the term legend.
I know this question.
If you, yeah, I'm about to say if you wouldn't mind, can you explain why you don't feel like John John's a legend? Because it's kind of hard.
Let me regrade
without-
because I didn't personally say John isn't a legend.
Hold up.
Let me say this.
LTPR.
Let me say this. Now listen. No, I'm gonna be very careful with my verbiage. I will never disregard the amount of work, accolades that a person has put into a specific field because that is objective and that has nothing to do with me. When we're starting to talk about the subjective field, which is skill set, that's when we have a different conversation. That's why I told John when we were having our back and forth before he got spooked and said he's calling me names, I don't want to battle him no more. We were having a discussion and I said there's a certain like imprint or there's a certain idea about you in battle rap that I disagree with. And he took that as me saying he didn't deserve to a legend status, he didn't deserve to be successful. And I'm like, no, nigga, it's just these people exalt you to a certain thing that I disagree with. That's it.
What was the idea that you're referring to?
This no, and it's crazy because people
legendary status.
It's this rookie neutralizer thing.
He is. Disrespect that.
See, that's what I think.
I think
That's the thing. But no, I disagree with that. But that's my thing.
That's the
subject. That's a 2-on-2, sir. 2-on-2s go against champion of the year.
Yeah,
Even in the one-on-ones.
have rookies gotten over on him? Like,
Even in the
no,
one-on-ones.
I'm just wondering because I feel like John for certain things he can get critiqued on. I feel like some of his styles, I know people have always said a little default. Like he's not the greatest angler, he's not the greatest puncher, so he doesn't necessarily excel in one category. But against new guys, I mean, the record speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it was a selective field.
But
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the subjective rank, right? Like when I said when we're talking about the impact, obviously John was the first person. He out of the new niggas, he's the imprint of getting the shot and that exalting your career into the next level. He's the poster boy for that. So like obviously as a new nigga, you have to give the respect in that regard. But what I talk about is certain skill sets, certain shit he does. You know what I'm saying? Behind and in front of this, that's the subjective shit is the shit I have a problem with. But that's certain shit we could talk about either in battles or whatever. But I'm not finna be on here and trying to talk, even with DNA, as much as I had shit about him, I'm not going to disregard what you've done in a sport that I just got into, because that'll be stupid. But I will tell you that your form is off, nigga. Your shoes untied, nigga. I don't like the way you did, you know what I'm saying? I can talk about that shit because that's more in the subjective realm. So I just wanted to clear that shit up out the gate. If you put in work in this business, you deserve to get the accolades of the work that you put in. But when we're talking about subjective things, I'm gonna have my subjective opinions until you prove me wrong.
So from a skill set perspective, because I think you're pretty much honing in from like a skill, because every battler feels like no battler can mess with them. So that's just the norm, right? But from a skill set perspective, which any battler that feels like if their skill set is being put into question, they're gonna feel disrespected. Like what are you particularly not agreeing with? Because you say you don't agree with like certain like what he's regarded as in terms of like in skill set as well. So I was curious as to like.
Well, I've already said that I declared John as the worst schemer in battle rap. But beyond that, I feel like I just say this without saying too much.
Hello.
We in battle rap understand that there are different types of fans that listen to battle rap for different types of reasons. There's a demographic of battle rap fans that they enjoy nothing more than simplistic, surface level material. It's easy to grasp, it's easy to digest, and it's fun for them because they might not be the hugest battle rap fans, but that's the thing they go to battle rap for. Now, there are certain battle rappers that understand that, and whether they tailor it to them or not, that's on them. But some battle rappers understand that, so they will craft their material for that said demographic. I feel like, personally, John has never been a crazy pen. And I feel like the shit has been shown multiple times, but because of like maybe the opponent's performance or whatever the circumstances, he wins the battle. Go figure. But I'm a nigga that can look at shit and be like, and listen. Like when I was posting all those videos about John being the worst schemer, niggas was listening to the bars and being like, yo, this shit is crazy as fuck, the Paul shit. And so many people was like, bro, how come I don't remember this shit? I watched the battle. How come I don't remember this? And that was like the point, is because y'all not paying attention to this shit. But I am. And when you really break it down, when it comes to some niggas, bro, their shit is like bare minimum simplistic. And even though it gets crowd reaction, to the niggas that really do this shit, you're not getting the same amount of credit as motherfuckers who are trying to do the most innovative, creative, dope shit with this shit. You feel me? That's why I put certain people as high as I do in this shit, because every single battle they're trying to do something different. They're trying to innovate, do something creative nobody's ever done. And then you have battle rappers who are getting by the most basic level shit. And it's okay if you doing your thing off that, by all means, do your thing. But when you ask me, that's the shit I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because I feel like, okay, there's a lot of battlers that are not the most intricate or that are not the most and there's plenty of battlers that excel at like the simplicity bars. Like, and no disrespect to the guy, but like I feel like Tay-Rock is the best with delivery. Like, if he doesn't say nothing that's crazy, he's gonna deliver it like it's crazy and it's gonna land perfectly. And then when he does say something that's actually crazy, it lands 10 times more. Like, I can name a bunch of battlers like that, and I think in that regard, when it's real, it don't got to rhyme. You know what I'm saying? So, but I feel like there's a plethora. I think that speaks to the greatness, though. If you can use other compartments of battle rap to kind of like neutralize maybe something that's not your strong suit, I think that's a part. And that's why styles make fights. I feel like the reason why John is one of the more respected and one of the more revered battlers in the game is because the all-aroundness that he brings. You know what I'm saying? Like, he may not be the most, as you mentioned, the most pen-heavy. He may not be the best rapper. And then some people, he may not be the best angler. But for him to have, like, a hand in all the things, maybe outside of rebuttaling,
so
that's
why don't we give
greatness.
Ill Will that much credit? Because Ill Will can do all those things.
I think Ill Will gets a lot of credit for that.
So that's what I'm saying. So, like, why, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. We have people that are all-around battle rap. I get what you mean. You're saying, like, because he...
And your hands with John beat him, too.
Because he...
John didn't beat Ill Will.
John did not beat Ill Will at all. We're not even gonna give it too much attention. Go ahead, Hansel.
Yeah, like I was saying, there are people who are like all around battle rappers. I understand what you mean, because he might not be the greatest pen. He's going to tighten up all the other attributes to where he becomes a more overall battle rapper. I have nothing against that. But you have motherfuckers who are all around battle rappers and they have the pen. So then it's like, all right then.
Yeah, so for you, it's more of like the pinning aspect that you're just kind of like.
I say for me personally, because I know people, like I said, people watch battle rap for different things and different, you know what I'm saying? I love performances. I love, you know what I'm saying, antics, jokes, all that shit. But me personally, when I watch a battle, the thing that's going to determine who won the battle or not is material. That's the thing that's why there's certain battles that people will say that nigga lost, and I would say no, that nigga won, because y'all niggas were y'all might have been looking at different perspectives of the battle. I was paying attention the most to the material. That's always gonna be my number one. So
bars.
You know, you're not the only one. Cause I feel that way too. I'm more of a material person, exactly. But at the same time, even like in a sport where styles make fights, it's like, and you know, it's a sport of circumstances. It's a sport of crowd engagement. It's a sport of being a master of ceremony and just knowing what you're good at. So yeah, I prioritize material, but at the same time, I can praise somebody who can show all-aroundness that can neutralize somebody that may have some of the best material I've seen. Like, so, but I get what you're saying though, because for you it's preferential. Yeah, but that for sure is preferential, especially as a person, because like anybody that's a part of the sport are going to have like a whole other perspective in looking into it. Yeah. Like when I used to play football, the way I used to play football, like I used to look at like certain players and be like, okay, they are good at this compartment, but like they could be so much better if they just knew how to use the swim move or knew how to be good in the 3 technique, like stuff like that. So I get what you're saying in that regard.
And don't get me wrong, like I'm not a dumbass to where I would. John is the level of in battle rap he is for a reason. It's not like he conned battle rap into making it to where he is. I'm not finna slight him like that, but I do feel like once you in the sport, once you in the NBA, you look at the other players differently than a fan would. Or you have a different understanding of the game, so you might critique things a little bit more differently. To where a fan would be like, "Oh, this player is the dopest," and then an analytic nigga would be like, "Well, no, because if you break this down," and you know what I'm saying, it's just a different perspective. So I look at that because I remember I used to kind of be a fan of John John when I first got into battle rap, and I was the surface level nigga. I wanted surface level current event shit because I didn't know too much references about battle rap. I wanted shit that I could know. And that's at that time, he was perfect for that. But once I started getting into battle rap, learning the references, learning the difference between bad, good, and great and excellent, that's when my shit became way more critical, and I started looking at niggas with way more of a critical eye. But I understand where niggas coming from. You said my top
the
three?
important difference between like we all freeway, we all love saying like basketball is like battle rap, right? But the difference is when you play in a basketball game, the way the consumers would critique or feel entertained by an athlete or by a basketball player, however we feel, it doesn't impact the outcome of the game. The winner is the winner based on the score. Battle rap is completely different. So when we are watching battles, we are the masses, the culture. We are who determines the winner. Everything in battle rap is subjective. So we determine who the winners are. So you have to entertain us, the consumers, the fans, the people that are voting on caffeine and voting on the apps and participating in all of these polls. And anytime, whereas I agree with Hansel, John John is not as pen heavy. But whenever you're standing in front of someone who does one thing exceptionally and you do multiple things very well, you're going to look like you're winning because you're going to be more entertained. The consumers are more entertained by the more myriad of things that you're doing. So the material is the material. We all listening for the bars. But if there's not like a huge gap, if there's not like levels and like this clear levels between the material and everything else that's going on, the person who checks more boxes is going to look like they won the battle.
Yeah, I was about to say I agree with the way you ended that, because I do think that there are, because when we did Compendium a couple months ago, we talked about how I point to the A Ward and Nitty battle, right? We said the A Ward is a little bit more well rounded, right? He has a lot more things that he can do, but the thing that makes Nitty so special is that he is so great at just from a material aspect, to where it doesn't matter how much his opponent can do, he can just rap his material and always have a fighting chance. So that's why the sport is just always interesting for sure. But I wanted to ask T-Top, since he's here, was he trolling, or did he have the same sentiments in terms of John John's skill set? I don't even know if he's even here to talk, but
Yeah, he's here.
He might not be there.
There you go. There you go. There you go. He said repeat it, Lane.
I was saying that do you have those same sentiments about John John's skill set? I don't know if it's you're trolling or you're just trying to get under his skin, or do you legitimately feel the same way in terms of skill set, or is it just comparatively speaking to yourself, you just don't feel he's as nice as you are?
Yeah, I don't be trolling, and I don't be trolling about John John, and I don't ever say John John is trash. You check my interviews for years back, I'd be like, yo, John John don't miss. I don't vote against John John. You know what I'm saying? I don't bet against John John until these recent performances. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? John John always been one of them dudes I look at as elite. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why I wanted to know from what Hansel was saying, his top three. You know what I'm saying? Because it's me, I really look for niggas that do everything. You feel me? I don't really focus on one skill set unless somebody does that amazing, Rum Nitty with the punching, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I like the all around battle rappers, like a Ill Will, like a John John, like a T Top, like a Briz Rothstein. I like niggas that bring more to the table, because it's all right, we all can rap good. You know what I'm saying? We all can rap good, and whether it's oh, this nigga technically rapped, his third word was rhyming with every third word. The third ball was matching with the first. That's a technical shit. You know what I'm saying? A nigga could get on his KRS-One and pick apart every word, every syllable. But then you got a rapper like DMX who just gonna give you feeling. It's not technical at all. You know what I'm saying? And he'll have 3, 4 #1 albums. You feel me? So
yeah, but not to answer your like not to, but to answer your question, the three niggas like overall I regard as like to me those niggas, Rum, Cal, Gotti, and it's all for different reasons. I don't think any of them two are like just alike, but I feel like even though they themselves can do multiple things, I feel like at the end of the day, the most potent thing about in all three of those niggas is the material. But that's just to answer your question, bro.
T-Top, you feel like you consider yourself one of the well-rounded, like can do it all type of battlers. Do you feel?
Yeah, I ain't no
do you?
thin nigga. I'm not no punch nigga.
Well, right. Well, no, I was getting ready to ask. Do you feel slighted when people? Because the most thing you hear reference to you is that you're like one of the elite top anglers. So, do you feel slighted or boxed in when that's the attribute that's most highlighted when it comes to you now?
I don't be tripping that's like the most highlighted one. It's like, whatever you do consistent for 4 battles straight, 5 battles straight is gonna be your new thing. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't tripping on that being like the new highlighted thing, but I definitely, I don't be feeling no kind of way about it, bro. I be feeling like everybody got to be known for something. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody got to be great at something. Like even if it's all right, we all do battle rap. All right, yo, but this nigga's great at freestyling. This nigga punches are ridiculous. This nigga could tell a story like nobody else. This nigga, you know what I'm saying? So we need that well balanced, and I don't mind my category being angles.
Okay.
Yeah, niggas start calling me a puncher like 2 battles ago, and they never referred to me as a puncher.
Yeah, that's how I go. Once you do something 2, 3 times in a row, it's over.
Now I'm a puncher. Yeah,
it's over. You do that shit three battles in a row, nigga. That's you. It's over.
So what you feel is your attribute then, T-Top? If we give you the angle one, what you feel? I ain't really that.
Oh shit! Like I said, I ain't mad at the angling, bro. I ain't really mad at that. I would say, I don't know, bro, because I'm one of them niggas who I do a lot of shit well, bro. Like I'm a funny nigga. I'm a realist. I'm gonna give you heartfelt bars material. I'm gonna dissect an opponent. I'm gonna do a lot of different shit. So like the highlighted attribute, the highlighted attribute really don't matter to me. I just want to be one of them niggas that, all right, we know Top gonna get the job done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you look for out of me, watch me for that. If you think I'm funny, watch me for that. If you like the way I tell stories, watch me for that. If you know what I'm saying? If you want to hear a drug reference or two, watch me for that. I'm not tripping on why you watch me. Just, watch me.
You did all that in the 3rd round against Rum.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, no matter what it is, I might have one of the moments of the year out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just watch me. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. One reason why I feel like maybe you got pitted into that, like, the angler lane is potential. Well, one, because everybody knows, like, from the start, you were pretty much, like, self-anecdotal. You talked about your story. You talked about the stuff that you did, what you went through or whatever. You're a very topic-based, topical battle rapper. So, like, whether it's talking about yourself or talking about your opponent, it just always seems like you were touching on a particular subject. So maybe that's why you were kind of put into that lane as like a angler person. Then when you really started to really break down your opponent consistently, that's when you got pitted as one. But truthfully, I do feel like your well-roundedness was showcased around like the 2017 time period. Because before that, I thought of you like a really, really good street rapper. I thought that you were good at angling, but I didn't really consider you like a premier angler until we got into like 2017 when you battled JC and stuff like that. But I think it primarily stems from you just always having like that particular subject matter regardless of if it being yourself or it being your opponent.
And that's important. That was always important to me, bro. It's like having something to talk about, a subject, you know what I'm saying? Like that was always important to me. And so, yeah, I used it, like when I came in, I was used to just rapping about me and the shit I've been through and shit like that. And then I just took that same method and applied it to my opponents. You feel me? So I definitely, I agree with you.
Don't everybody talk at once.
That's. Are we done with this segment?
Wow, what we finna do? We about to turn up?
No. Actually, we about to end it.
But before you end it, T-Top, while you up here, let the people know about your music you just dropped and everything like that.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I just dropped a record called "I'm Wrong." You know, it's on all digital
Can you
platforms.
get that video, dogs?
Yeah, the video is out. You know, it's on YouTube.
Send it to me.
That. All right, thank you.
It's hardcore.
That
Send it
shit's
to me.
kind of crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's like something different for me. It ain't